Welcome, everyone.
Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Courtney.
I'm Kristen.
And we're just going to do a short little intro today because we did film a longer intro, but our video cut out. It was an issue with the storage I had on my phone, which is all figured out now. But if you want that intro, it's so funny. We highly recommend going to listen to it. We have the audio version on Podbean. We're working to get it on other apps, so we'll keep you updated on that. Tell them what it's about.
Yeah, so in the episode, we get into our note app and all the random notes that we wrote down, things that we wanted to look into that we never did, but we are going to look into that. And the next intro for episode 3, we're going to come back with some of the information on, like, for example, what rectal ozone is. Yeah. But I highly recommend listening to the audio version. It's so much fun. There's also 10 minutes at the end of the video version of the episode where it cut out as well. So
we do have the audio playing, so you'll have that, you just won't get the rest of the video.
Which we're so sorry, because I know you guys probably love our faces.
Yes, of course.
What's not to love?
But yeah, the intro that we recorded, we were reading our diaries from like age 10 and 11, and it's so funny because we also do reference each other because, you know, I was the annoying little sister.
That read my diary, if you can believe that.
I don't even know what to say about that. I was going to deny it, but it
You literally read it to me.
I know.
Anyways,
Apologies. Never
trust your younger sister.
Don't read your older sister's diary. It's not worth it because then they spy on you.
So good. So we hope you enjoyed this episode, and
we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah.
We haven't showered in 5 days, manifested anyway. Every day's a payday. Wait, what the fuck did Chris just say? Messi's in the hole, I bet. Come hang out with our furry friends. Courtney's gonna leave again. Are you triggered yet?
And we're live.
Welcome to this forecast. In today's weather, things will be soggy with a chance of soup.
Okay, I'm sorry, but everything is so funny right now, and I thought that had passed, but I'm literally crying again.
We did
a
look at our childhood journals. Such great material, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today we decided to come prepared with our note app. That's why we have notes, because we're using our phones for our recording equipment, so we had to actually have it.
Yeah, we thought it was funny how, I don't know, I have the most random notes on my phone, and I usually forget about them, and then sometimes I go in to add something, and it messes it up, and then it changes things, and I have no idea what one thing is supposed to say, and it's just a mess. So I thought it'd be fun to talk about. And I have some, like, really good topics in there, too. So I'm like, we could talk about all these things. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of go through and pick the gems out of there.
I just put most of them down. Some of them are not gems. List of things I need to purchase. Toilet brush, comfy pants, leggings, dish towels, candles. There's more, but I'm not going to.
I like your priorities there.
Toilet brush.
Yeah. I also want to point out that we are very different people. I have mine handwritten, scribbled basically on scrap paper, and she's got hers all nicely typed. And you cut them and everything. I didn't even see you doing that.
That's because I didn't want you to make fun of me. But here we are.
Oh, whoops. I'll write about it in my diary later. Okay, so one thing, this is just the first one on my list, and I don't know what it means. I was wondering if maybe you would understand what I was trying to say. So I have embodiment equals safety, not gathering info mode.
What?
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
I don't think anyone could decipher that.
I'm wondering if it's something to do with my
It sounds like computer
coding
or something. I don't even know what that is.
Sounds like that, because I don't know what that is.
Like random words all jumbled together.
I wonder if it has something to do with, like, my north and south node, because my south node is, like, wants to gather all the information, or human design, like my profiles, where I'm I don't know. When I'm safe, I'm not feeling like I need to find all the information. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Carry on.
I wrote it's all just a cosmic wave.
I don't know, but I like it.
I like it too, but I don't know if I don't know if it's something I came up with. I don't know if it's someone else's, so I do apologize if it is not mine.
Oh, I have so many like from podcasts that I listen to.
It's probably from a podcast, I would think.
Yeah, and
I'm not that creative. Okay, I am. But
you. Okay, I am.
I am. I really am.
She is very creative. Okay, this one I thought was very like I could relate to this right now. This is probably from a podcast. The pain of not having what you want, pain you've been avoiding. So the pain of not having what you want is actually the pain you've been avoiding. So I don't really know what that means to me right now because I definitely feel like I don't know, I want to be like in BC and there's things that I want to be doing, but I don't know what I've necessarily been avoiding. I don't know. See,
We'll
things...
have to diary about it. Anyways, I'm not sure what that means for you.
I don't know either, but apparently it's important.
I don't have any pain though, so.
Pain-free?
Yeah. My next note says Shayla Quinn, which apparently is a podcast. Greg's stepdaughter recommended it to me, so I was intending to look it up, but that's not the whole note.
Oh.
Underneath the name, it says bone conduction, and then underneath that it says seed sounds, which I have no flippin' clue what either of those are.
I was gonna say, what do those mean? What was the second one?
Bone conduction.
Are you conducting electricity through your bones?
No, but I feel like it's something for healing. Seed sounds. Sounds like healing through frequency, but I have no idea. I'll have to look into it and get back to you.
That's really interesting. Okay, this one I heard, I think it was on the Mark Groves podcast. He was interviewing a woman and she said this: did the pill liberate women sexually or did it liberate men?
Oh.
Yeah, that's a whole topic. But I just that hit me. I'm like, whoa, was it really for women or was it just for men so they could, you know, get away with it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there was a bit of liberation for women, but I'm kind of curious, like, I don't know how much...
Along with all of the health effects of taking the pill.
Of course. But I don't know, and I had whole notes about those. I didn't write down the whole thing because there was a lot. But I don't know how much were women involved in creating of the pill. Do we know this?
We don't know this.
Oh, so much to find out.
Probably would be in the book Beyond the Pill by, what's her name? It starts with a J, I believe.
A J?
I don't know.
I don't know, but it's called Beyond the Pill, and it's very good.
And then I have like random notes, like my passwords, names that I like for future animals.
Oh, I have names for kids, but I only have like 3 names.
I only wrote down 3 names, but I'm not sharing them. I don't want anyone to steal them.
I wasn't gonna share my kids' ones because I didn't write them down, and I don't remember them.
You don't remember your kids' names?
I don't have kids, except for my dog.
Anyway. And then I have a note that says gratitude, and then under gratitude it says lymphatic.
I'm sorry, but this is like... It is very fitting for you.
Yeah, I do agree. Because I'm into health, but I'm also into the energetics of healing and energy healing on top of... lymphatic
The
drainage.
physical health.
Yeah.
You should mention, like, if anyone doesn't know what lymphatic means, if you could define it.
Your body's detoxing system. Kind of. Yes. I don't know. Yeah. I know how to drain my lymphatics.
Yeah. Because that is really important in keeping, like...
Because it doesn't drain on its
toxins
own. Like, movements.
flushed out.
Yeah. It doesn't... have a pump like your heart has a pump and everything else works by itself, but your lymphatic system needs you to help it pump. So like movement
Isn't there,
and
like,
massage.
Massage around like where
You can get a lymphatic massage. I really want to
I've
find
heard
someone
that.
who can do that and have one. I think that'd be so cool. And probably really crazy beneficial.
that would be good.
And then I could write about it in my gratitude journal. Hence the gratitude and lymphatic. I was gonna say lymphocyte, which
What is that? Anyways.
I feel like we keep saying that. Anyways, on to the next crazy note that we don't understand or know why we wrote it.
So yes, I'm gonna read the second line of one of my notes. I was writing something down. I thought maybe someday I would write like a memoir. There's just like things that I like, oh, I like the sound of that, so I wrote it down. And also, a few months ago, I watched a YouTube video. This girl, she reads like tarot cards and stuff for like the future, and Stargirl, the Practical Witch, I really like her. But she was like, oh, by the end of this year, you're gonna be living with your soulmate who is an Aries, and so that this is related to this. Okay. The ocean is my lover, the one I keep coming back to. Miller is my soulmate, though.
Aww.
So Miller's my dog, and he's an Aries. So I figured
And
I will be living with my dog still, and he is my soulmate. We have a soul contract.
I believe that totally, because I didn't even think about the fact that animals can be a soulmate until I had a session with Catherine, the animal
Really?
communicator, after Bear was hit by a car, and it was so cool because I found out he was a soulmate and also my spirit animal. So cute.
That feels so accurate. I think as soon as you got him and you're just like, your connection with, I don't know how to word it, but like your connection with raccoons in general was just like, it was like it was always there. It just needed that that opening or something.
Needed to be ignited.
Exactly. Okay.
We love a Huffies.
And Miller and your dog.
Pootie. Oliver. Pootie pie. Yeah, I do have a dog, although I talk about raccoons more.
Poor Oliver.
You know, he's not loved anymore. I'm joking. Not. Yeah. Friday the 13th. Dad's favorite number because he got his license that day.
What?
In case you didn't know, my dad's favorite number is 13.
But what is Friday the 13th, and how does he remember
I don't know.
that?
I don't remember what day I got my license.
Me either. I think it was a Monday.
I think you're making that up.
No, I'm not. Because I'm pretty sure I went to do, like, it was for my G1, like the beginner. And I went to go write it, and normal me, I forgot my paperwork or whatever I needed, my identification or something, at home. And it was Friday, and I was so upset I had to wait the whole weekend before I could go back and try to write the test. So, I'll make it Monday.
Saturday through Sunday, Monday.
I do have some good ones in here, but there's... Okay, this one.
I feel like mine are all so ridiculous, and yours are actually like, deep and meaningful.
Oh, no, not this one.
Okay, good.
This one is so good. Okay, I was making TikToks this year, in like early of the year, beginning of the year, and I had an idea for a TikTok, and I never made it. I tried to make it, but then for some reason it wouldn't work, and I never made it. But I never posted.
It wasn't in alignment, and the universe is like, nope.
Yes. So I was taking movie or TV show names, and I was making them spiritual. So I have 4.
I love this already.
I love these so much. How to lose a limiting belief in 10 days.
Okay, that movie's actually amazing. I love that movie.
How to
the
lose
original.
a guy in 10 days. That is really good.
Please tell me you have one for Blue Crush.
No, I don't.
Blue balls.
It's so spiritual. No, I have Ella Empowered. This one is funny.
Oh.
But Ella Enchanted.
Yeah. That one's lame.
Yeah, but I thought it was just came to mind. Oh, How I Met Your Inner Child.
How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
Oh, look at me. Do I get a a prize?
You get a gold sticker. Gold star.
You can have a piece of tape.
Oh my god.
Here's some super glue. Don't glue your fingers together or your eyes closed.
I'm just gonna carry on. An Ego is Born.
An ego.
Are we trying to think of the...
Yeah, the actual movie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You probably won't know because it's newer. A
Oh.
Star is Born. It has Lady Gaga in it. And someone else, I think. Yeah, those are the 4.
I'm like, I want to make one now.
I know, they were a lot of fun. I was like writing this down and just laughing because it was so funny. Yeah, first one's good.
I will be coming back with some more next week. Okay, dreams. October 29th. Dreamed my brother and sister were over. Dave needed to have a shower and I couldn't find a clean towel. Everything was a mess and there was people everywhere. A very profound dream.
Probably has some profound meanings. Like you felt like your house was a mess and you couldn't take care of your loved ones.
I don't even think we were home October 29th. I'm pretty sure we were on the road.
So weird.
It is weird because I wouldn't have wrote it in my notes on my phone. If I was home, I would have written it on paper because I prefer that method unless I'm typing it up for our podcast.
I had a dream in the winter about, I think I just told you about this morning, where I was writing something down. Like I wasn't in Ontario in the winter, and in my dream I was back here at this place. I was journaling
The
or
Enchanted
something.
Forest.
I was writing something down, sitting in the one chair in your living room, and then this morning I was literally doing. This morning I was doing that.
Stop it.
and I just had that like, I don't know. I swear I had that dream. So I think I've heard like deja vu is when your present moment like connects with like a vision you had of it or like a dream you had of it before, and then it's like this I've been here before
or another timeline.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, where timelines are crossing or something. I don't know, trippy.
Yeah.
But yeah, my house is always, like, I try to keep it relatively clean. So having a dream that my house was messy is really upsetting.
Okay. Oh, this one I wrote, it's a money mindset thing. And I'll just say, I've always had only $700, but I've also always had $100,000. And I can't explain it. What it means, I understand it, but I can't explain what. Do you know what I was trying to say?
Can you
there?
say that again?
Yeah. I've always had only $700, but I've also always had $100,000. I think it's the timeline thing. Like, in this timeline, at this moment, I might only have $700, but in another timeline, at this moment, I have $100,000. So, like, I've always had $700. I've always had the $100,000. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
It makes sense in my head,
And
but
then
it's
I've
very
always
hard
had
to explain.
$0.
Well, we don't like that.
We don't like that
We don't wanna-
We don't discuss that timeline.
Yeah.
This one is really positive. I could use help optimizing my health, my mood, my energy, my sleep, my productivity. So every area of my life could use some help, apparently.
I mean, doesn't everybody need help in most
Everyone
areas?
has room for growth, yes. I just don't know why I wrote that or why. What was the purpose of that?
Do you know when you wrote it?
But before I wrote about my dream. No, after. No, before. I'm sorry, I went back to my notes. So,
I don't know.
I'm not really sure. We'll move on because my next...
How do you feel about that now, though? In those areas? Because it's been almost a year.
I feel like I don't need help with any of that.
Well, that's good. Maybe you were, like, calling that in. You were manifesting it. By claiming it.
Yeah.
Either way, it worked. Okay,
Next, we're going to, sorry. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry.
Is it out of your system?
I don't know. I might have to interrupt here and there for another,
Okay, so,
moving on to the next chapter.
Being curious before labeling something as bad or good. Labeling equals shame or guilt.
I love
so,
that.
like, when you have, like, a feeling come up or a thought, I think it was labeled, I think it was geared towards feelings. So if you have, like, a feeling, let's say you have, like, jealousy come up and you say, oh, like, that's bad, I shouldn't have that feeling. You're like, oh, that's curious, I wonder why that's coming up. Like, what is it is it something that I'm wanting? And then, yeah, because if you say it's bad, then you, like, feel guilty or shameful for it.
And who is the one who decides what is bad and what is good? Like, why, like, if you're gonna do something, like, say that's detrimental to your health, but you're gonna do it anyway, why add that extra layer of guilt and shame? Just freaking do it and honor where you are at in your life and stop adding those extra labeling of good and bad, or bad. Label things good. Maybe don't label it good if it's actually detrimental. Just don't label it at all.
Exactly. Just be curious about it.
Curious George.
I'm just gonna ignore you.
That's what Greg does. Okay, are you ready for this one? It's a long one, and then we'll have to go into what each one could possibly mean and why it's all lumped together in one note. Holotropic breathing, Jim Quick, limitless, Black Mirror, an open secret, reality transurfing, events plus reaction equal outcome, 5 elements shamanic teacher training, when there's doubt, it's a no, and when there's excitement, it's a yes, spontaneous remission, mind over medicine, red, network marketing, affiliate marketing.
What was the second one?
Jim Quick, limitless. It's a book. Jim Quick.
Oh, Jim. I'm like imagining GYM, Jim. Have a quick gym sesh.
Makes you feel limitless.
Black Mirror is a TV show.
I also think it's a documentary.
Like the TV show is?
No.
Like how you say Lord of the Rings is?
No. Yes, that's supposedly a documentary, but no, Black Mirror, I think it's, I can't think of what it is right now, so. An Open Secret, I feel like that's a documentary, but I'm not sure. Reality Transurfing. I feel like that's like Project Looking Glass. I have no idea.
I don't know. Some of the things that you, I want to say interested in, but like some of the places you go and like listen to things again, like podcasts.
Yeah.
It's very fascinating.
Events plus reaction equal outcome.
Oh, yeah, that makes more sense because your reaction...
More sense than reality transurfing?
Yes. Yes, it does. Because your reaction on an event, like let's say you're labeling it as good or bad, that's gonna affect you in the future. Like,
and also, it's like whatever happens, how you respond to it. Okay, so yeah, reaction, it should be response equals outcome. Because you shouldn't react is like you're not taking the time to respond.
Oh, okay, I see.
Like intentional.
So your initial reaction versus your actual response
Yes.
to it. Because you could have initial reaction, but you don't act on it. You like, oh, okay, let me just
Sit with
ponder
it.
that in a moment.
With my monocle. I feel like that's how you would ponder something.
Definitely.
5 Elements Shamanic Teacher Training. That's definitely a course or something I was going to look into. I don't know why. I think it was the 5 Elements part that I really was interested in.
Yeah, that part sounds good.
When there's doubt, it's a no. And when there's excitement, it's a yes. Pretty straightforward.
I feel like I had something that was similar to that. Oh, no. The thing I had was, when in doubt, do the thing you were going to do first.
When in doubt, throw it out.
When in doubt, pinky out. That one's from SpongeBob.
Classy. We do, definitely refer to some very
We have a wide
powerful-
range of sources.
We do. I constantly quote the movie Santa Claus, like all year round.
Santa Claus 2.
Both.
Yeah, but mainly the second one.
I feel like that's not right. Way.
That's from the second
I
one.
know. Okay. Settle down.
Okay. Okay.
Also, with this, what was I listening to that it said when you're trying to make a decision if it, feeling in your body if it's a yes or no, and if you can't decipher if it's a yes or a no, you just really don't know. Usually it's a no, you just don't want to admit it.
Oh, that's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've definitely had decisions where I haven't wanted to, like, admit that I actually knew. And then once I was like, all right, I, like, saying to myself, I know the answer. Because my go-to is, I don't know. I just want to make the decision. It's too hard. I don't want to know. But, like, if I say to myself, I know the answer, like, I know what I should do, then it usually comes to me. Because it's there.
That's really powerful saying that. I've never done that.
My coach taught me that because I was always, she's like, ask me questions. I'm like, I don't know. She's like, okay, stop that. But like, what
Stop
if
right now. Thank you very much.
I'm not gonna carry on with that. But she was like, oh no, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh. She said,
She's
stop.
like, what if you?
Stop it.
She was like teaching me affirmation. She's like, what if you use the affirmation like I do know, like I know what I want to do, and like that just, you know, that changed everything.
I feel like that's a really powerful way to go about it. Like, it's taking your power back. Like, I do know. Because when you say you don't know, it's like, I feel like it's kind of giving your power away.
Yeah. And then when you say, like, I know, or, like, I choose to know, I don't know, whatever. I feel like it opens you up to, like, allowing that actually in.
Yeah.
Like, even if you don't know yet, like, you're inviting that answer in.
I love that. Spontaneous remission. Again, I like different health things. Mind Over Medicine, I feel like that's a documentary. Red, that's a color. I'm not sure why I wrote that down. And
this
then
is my least favorite color.
It
Red.
is.
I know. I'm saying it's for you. Yeah.
Yeah. And
It's like my favorite color.
anyways, that's unfortunate. Network marketing, affiliate marketing. Boring. I don't want to discuss it. I don't
That's
know
what
why.
I was gonna say.
Lame. Okay, that was a really
That
long
was good.
note.
I liked that one.
I do have some more like similar to that, but
I have so many good ones. Oh, okay, I'll just go to my next highlighted one here. Luxury, this is a quote, or this isn't a quote, but I heard it, I'm pretty sure, on a podcast or something. So I didn't come up with it, but I wrote it down.
I will take credit.
I have definitely talked about it multiple times. Luxury is the transition into expansion. Yeah.
I
so
want to
if
write
you're-
that on my mirror.
So if you want to like get into expanding like, I don't know, all areas of your life, I would say.
Not just material or
Yeah,
wealth,
like
but
expanding your mind and everything. Like luxury. Okay, I've had this discussion with someone before where I mentioned luxury and they got triggered. Are you
they were triggered. Yes. Doesn't even go.
So I mentioned that, and they're like, "Oh, I don't like luxury," and I'm like,
Who
"Everyone
the fuck doesn't like luxury?
Luxury is is unique to the person.
Yeah, what luxury is to me is different than what luxury is to you and everyone else on this planet.
Like, luxury doesn't mean living in a penthouse suite, like, with all your designer clothes.
It could mean working on a mushroom farm. Oh my gosh.
Yes, it could mean that too.
Do you need a moment to recalibrate? Okay. Rerouting.
Just stop being funny for a moment.
Okay.
Anyways, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about this now.
Okay, you guys get the point.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just thought that was really cool.
I'm trying not to be funny. My next one, homecoming. The body keeps the score. Nonverbal linguistics. The body keeps the score is a book.
Are these all books? Is Homecoming a book, maybe?
I don't know. Maybe. Nonverbal linguistics sounds like a very boring title of a book. I feel like that's something I just wanted to look up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Is that like nonverbal communication, kind of? Like, what's linguistics?
Something to do with language. Or communicating. Sign language is what it sounds like it could be.
Nonverbal sign. Oh, wait.
Everyone's gonna hate us. Oh wow. Let's just move on before.
Maybe we should have waited until tomorrow. Well, this one's from a movie, A Wrinkle in Time. It's okay to fear the answers, but you can't avoid them. That's kind of like what we just talked about. About, like, not knowing. Like, we're saying you don't. Not admitting that you know the answers.
Yeah.
So it's like 100%. You can totally be scared of them, definitely. But if you always avoid them, you're never gonna evolve or grow or.
And they'll always be there, lurking. And eventually, sometimes you can try, but you eventually are gonna have to face it anyway.
And I think that's when things get forced upon you.
Yeah.
Is when you keep resisting.
Yeah, because the universe is like, all right, we've given you multiple chances, so now we're just going to rip the carpet out from under you, take the wool off your eyeballs.
Put the wool over your eyes. We need to work on our verbal linguistics here.
Take your glass eyeballs out and put in real ones.
I tried to tell someone the other day I had a glass eye.
He thought we were drunk.
Yeah. I mean, people watching this will probably think that too. Yeah. Okay.
Well, we won't even say if we are or not. We'll let it be a mystery. You guys can get curious. Okay, float tanks. It's a health thing. They're really, really good.
It's a health thing?
Yeah, float tanks.
Float tanks.
Yeah, that's all I can say. But I know I want to try it. I'm pretty sure you just like float in like water that's like
you're floating.
Yeah. Did you picture little tanks floating around?
No, I didn't know what to think.
Oh.
Literally, my mind was blank. I had no ideas.
Yeah, you like float, and it's like the buoyancy is like
you're floating.
You're just
okay. I feel like I don't know. Is that what?
Oh my gosh, my next note. Okay, go. The next one is got some hilarious shit.
Okay. All right. Belonging, comfortable with self equals comfortable elsewhere. People who travel constantly, never feeling a part of something missing. So basically I'm saying belonging means you're comfortable with yourself once you're comfortable with yourself and you can feel like you belong anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not reliant on a certain place.
Yeah, or the outer...
Yeah.
Your outer reality.
And then, this was, like, it was below it, so I think I wrote at the same time, people who travel constantly, never feeling a part of something. I think someone mentioned that to me. I don't know, they always feel like they're not part of a community and everything, but that was one thing that I was worried about feeling. Like, I wanted to manifest the feeling of community. And for me, I feel like I did that even though I wasn't staying in one place. It kind of happened later where I realized, like, my community is all across Canada, and, like, that's how I want it to be. I want to be able to, like, I don't want to stay in one place, but I like to have those connections, but I have those connections all across Canada. So, like, that makes me feel good. It makes this country feel a lot smaller to me, and that, like, you know, I have my community. They're just spread out over a wide area. And some people are, like, in other countries, too, and, yeah.
I love that for you. Are you ready for this?
I don't know.
Ozone therapy, glutathione, Luke's story, rectal ozone, antibiotics are made from mold, moldy movie, evergreen forest, true dark glasses, an end to upside down thinking. I'm not making this shit up. This is literally word for word of what I wrote in my notes.
What was the evergreen one?
Evergreen
trees?
forest.
Oh, forest.
I feel like there must be some health benefit to walking in an evergreen forest.
Okay. Luke's Story is a podcast.
I'm obsessed with his podcast.
His
The
podcasts are,
lifestyles.
his podcast episodes are, like, 2 to 3 hours long.
I know.
So I feel like I've only listened to one, I think. And it was about the vision. Which was really good, but I was also used it to put me to sleep on a flight. Because it was really interesting.
He has a soft voice that I use sometimes just to put as my nighttime. My lullaby. Thank you, Luke Story, for your nice, gentle voice. I can't use the ones who are very obnoxious when I'm trying to go to sleep. Like
I
us.
hope he doesn't listen to this.
I feel like I could never use us to fall asleep. I mean, why would I listen to myself to fall asleep? That's creepy.
There's a podcast called Nothing Much Happens, and it's literally stories. She's written these stories that are the most boring stories ever, and she talks really softly.
Hope she doesn't listen to this.
No, they're meant for you to fall asleep.
Oh.
It's Nothing Much Happens. It's the sleep podcast.
Oh.
So yeah, she reads the story one time through, and then she reads it again slower, and it puts me to sleep every single time.
And then the mouse was in my pocket.
I knew you were going.
Wow. I'm gonna check that out. I'm curious.
It's very boring.
I love that.
But it's also, like, not... I think she puts... Like, she actually plans these stories out in a way that they're not just random stories. They're, like...
Is it, like, a series?
Or something. I don't know. There's something... I can't really remember.
So then you can also, like... It has, like, positive things that are also, like, programming your brain.
Yeah,
Because when you're falling asleep listening to stuff that could... Yeah, when you're going into
you're
the hypnotic phase or whatever.
Yeah, you're most, like, susceptible... Or, I don't want to say susceptible, but, like... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone else knows what I mean, right? Okay.
Anything else we want to touch on?
Rectal
ozone? I'm really curious.
Was that part of the ozone therapy?
I feel like the first 4 are possibly... Actually, I think these are all have to do with the same thing. It just sounds really all over the place.
An end to upside down thinking.
I feel like that's either a documentary or a book. Because what's up is down and what's in is out. What's right is wrong. What's wrong is right. Everything's backwards.
And we're not here right now. I feel like... Oh. I was listening to another podcast. They're all podcasts.
Our podcast is just us talking about other podcasts. Where we don't tell you the name of them, so then you're just left wondering.
We'll just review random podcasts that we don't give sources. No, this one was really interesting. So, I don't remember what podcast it was, of course, but I wrote down who was being interviewed, so who said this. It was Dr. Tina Moore, and she was talking about fitness. And I was just, like, working away at something, so this podcast episode just started playing. I wouldn't have, like, picked it necessarily. Mm-hmm. But then I started listening to it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so interesting. So she says, I'll just read what I wrote down. Muscle sucks up extra blood sugar. Don't do cardio. Lift weights with 3 question marks. Then I put all in caps, what? And then I put start with strength training. The rest will line up. So she doesn't even recommend cardio. I think it's because of that. It puts you in the sympathetic nervous system. Yeah. So she says, do strength training, and it's actually
like resistance training is really good too.
Yeah, and it helps with like aging, like all the effects of aging, like not just like looks, of course, but like the physical effects of aging. And then the rest will line up. Oh, I think she talked about diet too. So when you're doing strength training, like you won't like need to like actively change your diet. You'll want to change your diet. Like you'll want to eat healthy.
Like it'll just naturally become that.
Yeah. I think that's what she said. I didn't write that part down. But I just thought it was so interesting because I always go to cardio. And I'm like, well, maybe I need to switch to strength training. But I think
you
cardio...
have weights here, don't you?
I don't think they're here. I think they're at Mom's.
I'm pretty sure you have weights here.
Maybe half of them.
Oh, maybe they are at Mom's.
But I was actually talking to Mom about this before. And I think I'm still going to do cardio because one thing I learned after doing a lot of cardio, especially with like the instructors, they tell you to like get in control of your breath, which controls your heart rate. Mm-hmm. So you can do these exercises without putting yourself into like getting yourself all worked up, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm assuming that means you don't automatically put yourself like
into the sympathetic. I feel like if you're doing any form of fitness, it's going to put your body into sympathetic.
Yeah, strength training too.
I don't see how it wouldn't. Like you're using your body. Like, I don't know. It's hard for you to get into parasympathetic nervous system when you're laying down relaxing. You have to do like breathing exercises and activate your vagus nerve.
I feel like it's quite easy for me.
Well, how do you know for sure that you're...
Because I'm not in like fight or flight or freeze or...
You might be. Would you say fridge? So guys, we're gonna add another one onto that. It's fight, flight, freeze, or fridge. So that's when you're emotional eating? I'm not sure. No, Courtney fired for sure. Sorry guys.
Okay, that was me, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Holographic universe.
I feel like you didn't need to write that one down. Oh, like, not just Earth itself, but the whole universe.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Is holographic.
Yeah, whatever. I don't even care about... Let's go on to the next one. My next one's a performance one, but I want you to perform it.
What?
Just read your next one.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
These are not in any order. I do have a song lyric that I wrote down.
Wait, that's what my next one is.
Really?
Yeah, that I said you have to perform. It's more of a rap, though.
Oh, okay. Well, this one's not. This is by Roger Hodgson. The song is Hi Hi.
Hi.
But like H-A-I. Hi Hi. I don't know what that means. But there ain't no courage when there ain't no fear. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory, but I just liked it.
Where does he say, hi, hi? I want to hear that part.
It's basically like that. Hi, hi.
Okay. Right there, would you like to wrap it for our audience?
Red wine is my passion. Dog hair is my fashion. We be riding shotgun in the left lane. We be passing. Is that what you wanted?
Yes, thank you. That was really good.
Thank you.
You're natural.
Natural rapper.
DJ KB in the house. Anyways, thank you for that performance.
I don't know if everyone heard me. So red wine, you would just read the lyrics. Just
red wine is my passion. Dog hair is my fashion. We be riding shotgun. In the left lane, we be passing. That is because I go trekking with my husband and we take the dog and, you know, dog hairs everywhere and we drive quick.
very good.
Very well, thank you.
What
I'm
other...
almost done. I have two more.
I just have a bunch of like random ones, and yeah, I think this one. Ooh, no, I want to talk about this one.
I don't want to.
Too bad. Women rewarded for self-sacrifice. This is also from a podcast. So nice, but not herself.
What?
Women rewarded for self-sacrifice. So nice, but not herself. I was saying that's so nice of women to be self-sacrificing, but like they're not being authentic. So then after that, I wrote these things. It's never too late to be authentic in your own life, because sometimes people are like, it's too late, I already am who I am, already whatever. But it's never too late.
Never too late to prioritize your own self.
Like your own growth.
And your own health. Like a lot of people, I don't say a lot of people, but people who tend to make sure that everyone else is cared for and that their care is the least important.
I feel like you could say that to yourself.
I feel like that's not true. I literally napped today and I took time to do breath work and lymphatic massage.
You were sweeping.
And I had a bath last night.
You were sweeping the house at 10:30 last night.
I sweep before I go to bed every night, Courtney.
I'm usually in bed before then. Anyways, I had another line under that. Worthiness doesn't live in their responses, it lives in your expression. So, yeah, it really doesn't matter. Like, if you're being authentic and expressing yourself, however that is for you.
Mine is my facial expressions. They tell the authentic truth without me having to say a word.
I'm not going to say it. Never mind. I'll tell you later.
Everyone's going to want to know.
No, I wouldn't want to, because it's about someone in my life, and I don't want, if they happen to watch this, I don't know if they would. I'd just rather not.
Okay.
I'll tell you later. Okay, but yeah, it's not about how people respond or react to you, because that doesn't matter. As long as you're expressing yourself, that's the most important part.
Yeah, how they react is not any of your business. It does not.
Yeah, not your responsibility, not your fault.
Yeah. And it's also, speaking about responsibilities, it's not your responsibility to stop someone from learning the karmic lessons they're here to learn, which is a hard one for even myself sometimes, where you want to help someone so much and you can see what it is the steps they need to take to help them in whatever situation in their life. But they're just not, they might say they're open to it, but then you see that they're not taking any of the advice.
You can tell when they stop listening.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And I usually just stop then. But it took me realizing that it's not my responsibility. People are here to learn the karmic lessons that they're here to learn for their soul's evolution. And it's not up to me to stop them from learning that. And at the end of the day, I won't be able to, because that's what they're here to learn.
I feel like, so we didn't used to be super close. Like when we were kids, we were. But like there was many years we just weren't super close.
Yeah.
And I felt like anytime, like, I love learning new things, but a lot of times you come out with these, like, health and wellness things, and, like, I just was not there for it. I was not in the same right, like, place to understand that.
Yeah.
And then you would, like, share things, and I'm like, whoa, like, get out of my face, like, leave me alone. Like, you're being so confrontational. But, you know, I just wasn't ready for it.
Do you remember that one time? Oh my gosh, sorry, I'm bringing this up on the podcast.
Oh no, what?
That you
I'm very embarrassing, so this could be anything.
It's not really embarrassing. I feel like a lot of people have had moments like this. Okay, you were over and you had cookie dough.
Oh my god, yeah, I've done this year.
And okay, she had a package of like raw cookie dough, and she was like, "Do you want any of it?" I do remember you not being open to me talking about the health stuff, because I remember almost biting my fucking tongue off because there was so much I wanted to say, like, that is so fucking toxic. You should not eat that, whatever. I was just like, I think I took 10 seconds to respond, and for me, that is a long time, and I'm surprised you didn't, like, find that strange.
I probably was, like, had my own.
You were busy eating cookie dough.
I was stuffing my face with cookie dough, obviously.
But I was just like, no, thank you. And then Greg had seen that, and he was like, why don't you tell her how bad that is? I was like, no, not worth it. I'm like, yeah.
Now I do it fully knowing that it's toxic.
And that's okay if you're gonna do something.
Yeah, as long as you're aware.
You're aware.
I mean, I haven't done it in a long time. I have cleaned up my diet a little bit now, so. A little bit.
There you go.
I say that like I eat horrible, but I actually eat pretty good. And I've had people say like, no, like you do eat really well. It's just I'm always like, I could do better. And it's like, look, I remember like how bad I used to be like growing up. Like I used to eat horrible. Not just growing up, like when I was in college and stuff. And I used to eat so bad. And like I have come such a far way. Such a long way. So I have to be proud of myself.
I don't eat perfect, but I eat exactly a lot better than when we were growing up, or even when I first met Greg.
Yeah.
Like we ate like, oh my gosh, the things we would buy for in the truck. When we'd go to there was things that we liked to buy in the States. Like different boxes of Oreos. And just sit there and eat like the whole thing. And I wonder why I felt like shit all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you don't, if you've been eating like junk for so long, sometimes you don't even know
how shitty you feel.
Yeah, you don't even know until you stop. Like I was drinking pop a lot in high school, and then as soon as I stopped, like I quit cold turkey, and I realized how much.
What's wrong with cold turkey? Sorry.
You should eat it warm. Anyways, I felt much better. Next thing.
No, I want to say something about that too. When Greg was sick from the mold, we had to. So it's not enough to just remediate your house. You have to like remediate your body and detox to get the mold out of your body.
What does remediate mean?
Like you're removing all of the mold and anything that would be like damage from the mold, which is basically anything that's fabric, wood, and making sure that you're fixing the water source, which ours is an unfinished basement, which has been an ongoing challenge since I've been here. I think it always has been, but I think we finally got it good. But yeah, so we I did research on our diets, and basically everything like dairy, sugar, gluten, alcohol, caffeine, all feed mold. So I literally took a box and took literally everything out of our pantry and donated it to a food bank, and went and bought all things that were not in a box or a bag or a can, because I didn't want anything processed. And it was a couple weeks of eating really healthy, and it was challenging because I didn't know any good recipes. It was so new to me.
Like, what do I eat?
But I felt so good. I had so much energy, and I felt Like, I said to Greg's mom, I'm like, I have never felt so good in my entire life. Like, I feel like a new person. It was amazing.
Is that what helped Greg heal
Mhm.
from the mold? Just the diet?
Diet and remediating the house.
Oh,
and,
yeah. Well, that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It definitely is challenging, but I think when you have... If you're just, like, deciding, oh, I'm just going to do this, it would be a lot harder, I think. But because you had, like... I have to do this because I don't know what else to do.
Yeah, because Greg, I believe he was 44 at the time, and he was so affected by the mold, like it affects his joints, so he couldn't walk. Like, he was using a walker to get around at 44. I had to help him up the stairs. I had to feed him in bed. Like, he'd sleep all the time. Like, he was just not well. And we took him to the hospital, got all these tests, and they're like, oh, he's healthy.
Really? They never found it? The hospital never found it?
No, they didn't test for mold. They don't do tests for mold. Also, they don't have anything that they could help, because there's no prescription that can get mold out of the body, and if they don't make money off of it, they probably don't care.
Say that louder for the people in the back.
If they don't make money off it, they don't care.
Okay, was it your turn?
Yes.
Okay.
Christian Amorti, I Am That. I feel like that's a book.
What?
Christian Amorti. Or maybe I'm saying it wrong. I apologize if I am.
Oh,
I am that. I just like that statement.
I don't this.
Know. And I am that. Thing 1 and thing 2.
I wonder what that means.
I think it's a book, but I really...
Yeah, but like, what is it about? Is it about identity?
Identity.
Identity theft. Anyways.
I feel like...
I don't know.
Our intro to our next podcast, we should... Like, some of the things were really like, what the hell is this? Just look into it, and then just like intro, like, hey, we looked into the skies.
Rectal
ozone. Yeah.
I think we should look into that one.
I'm really curious.
Just
I feel like it's
too deep.
Only to the first knuckle.
I have to go pee. Oh my god. I shouldn't drink that much coffee before.
Do you have any more?
I have some like random ones. Let's see. I don't like that one. I don't know why I wrote that one down. Yeah, this one here. So if you're like worried, I'll just read it. Worst thing that can happen is I attract something else of the same frequency. Releasing attachment raises the vibration. So if I'm like
do a
worried,
whole episode on releasing attachment and how I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Because like if you're worried like, oh, I'm gonna attract horrible things, you're like, well, if you've worked on your vibration, like the worst thing you're gonna attract is like something else of what you're already putting out.
Yeah, so just like focus on your frequency and eliminating things from your life that you know are lowering your vibration, whether it's a friend that isn't really in alignment with who you are and maybe they're not working on themselves, but you feel like you have to be friends with them because you've been friends for 45 years, even though you complain every time you hang out with them. Maybe we should cut that part out. It is what it is.
Okay.
I have one more, unless you want to talk more about that.
I was just gonna say, I think that helps to get rid of like thinking about the worst case scenario, because like, oh, if I don't get this, then you know this horrible thing is gonna happen. It's like, no, it's not gonna be the worst thing. You might not get exactly what you want right now, but you're just gonna get something else than what you have right now, like on the same level.
You didn't talk about astrology this whole podcast.
I have a lot of notes about astrology. I figured you wouldn't. I can talk about astrology. I can mention one of the notes.
Because I'm about to bring up Bear, so...
Well, I'll bring up an astrology note that I have.
So I didn't realize this until my session with Catherine, and she said that how beautiful it was that I didn't have any attachment to the outcome of like what happened with Bear. And I didn't. I never had an attachment like this is how it needs to go, this is what it needs to look like, and this is what I see for the future. I never ever
with releasing him
in having him any outcome.
Okay.
Like I always had it in the back of my mind, he is a wild animal and anything can happen. I wasn't foolish where I didn't realize that, you know, the possibility of him getting hit by a car. Of course I hoped and prayed that those things wouldn't happen, but I did not hold an attachment, and sometimes it takes someone else pointing that out to you for you to realize that, I really didn't have an attachment. I was just so fucking present with him.
Yeah.
He was like a meditation every day. Mindfulness.
Because you were talking, I think someone mentioned to you about, like, I don't know, communicating with him while he was here, you know, to see, like, you knew that he was here for a bigger purpose than just, like, be in your space. But you were so present with him that you, like, I don't know.
Yeah, so, because I had wanted to book an animal communication session with Catherine. And I kept saying to Amanda that I wanted to do it, but I just didn't. And she reframed it, and she was like, you were just so fully present with Bear. You were just so in it. So, like, you weren't meant to have that session until after you transitioned.
Yeah, I think it came exactly when it was supposed to.
Yeah. I was so nervous for that session, too.
I know. And then after, you just, like, felt so good.
I know. She's such a beautiful radiator. She's a radiating light. Okay? My last note I wrote down is latex and sulfa. Things I could possibly be allergic to because my mother is allergic to.
What's sulfa?
I don't know. Maybe she was trying to say sofa.
She forgot what sofa was. Maybe it's like sulfate? Sulfa?
Sulfa, it's a thing.
I've never heard of it.
I think it's
She
in
made
like
it
a
up.
type of prescription, which I don't take prescriptions, so I don't have to worry.
You don't take subscriptions?
Did I say subscriptions?
No.
You know what I always fuck up? When I'm trying to say recipe or receipt, I always... I will literally mix the two up. So now I just do it on purpose so that when I accidentally do it, people think I'm doing it on purpose.
So if you're at, like, the store, can I get my recipe, please? Have you said that before?
No, but I think just talking about... Like, talking with Greg, like, quickly, just telling a story of something that happened, I know I've totally fucked it up.
I thought you used to mess up subscription and prescription.
I mean, I feel like everyone does if you don't consciously think about it.
I never did until
I brought it into
yeah, and then
awareness.
every time I said it, I'm like, I just, like, giggle to myself because it's funny, and then I'll, like, say the other one just on purpose.
Yeah. There's a lot of things I say on purpose. And, like, yeah.
On tortoise.
Anyways.
Now I can't remember any of the astrology ones that I wrote down. It was a lot. I had a really good quote. I'll have to come back with it. It was about the air signs. I was listening to a podcast.
Oh, imagine
And
that.
I know.
Surprise, surprise.
It's called The Astrology Show. So,
Sorry. Oops.
So it's the astrology. There's no A on astrology. It's just the astrology show. But she was talking about all of the elements, so in 4 different episodes, and she was talking about the air signs. And just the way that she described the air signs, it was amazing. I loved it. So
I'm an air sign. I want to hear it.
did I not tell you?
I don't know. If you did, I'm sorry that I might have forgotten.
It was really good. I don't want to.
Was it a
Try.
platypus? A platypus in the wind.
Yes.
And on that
Because
note,
it was air.
yeah,
platypus in the
that's why I said that. Anyways, I think we should end on that note.
And the platypus?
In the wind. Because you don't know the quote, so I mean, that was...
Yeah, I'm not even going to try. I don't want to mess it up because it was that good.
Yeah. So we'll end on that.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
Kapgun ka. That's Thai for thank you.
Oh.
like that.